Minno Laugh and Grow Bible. David and Goliath.
Many, many years ago, Israel had a big problem.
Really? What was it?
Their enemy came to attack them.
That is a big problem.
So, King Saul, the leader of Israel, sent out a messenger to ask for help throughout the land. The messenger passed by a town where a man named Jesse lived with his big, strong sons.
The Philistines are attacking, and King Saul needs brave and mighty men to fight.
Well, when Jesse's sons heard that, they said,
Brave and mighty? That's us!
So off they all went, all except for their little brother,
David, I take care of the sheep.
David was too young and too small to go to war. So, instead of fighting, David brought food to his brothers. One day, while he was visiting them, David saw a big, huge Philistine.
Was he one of the Philistines attacking Israel?
Yes, and his name was
Goliath. I'm the baddest, biggest, strongest guy around.
The Philistine leader said,
If your strongest man can beat our strongest man, we will be your slaves. But if our strongest man can beat your strongest man, you will be our slaves.
The Israelite soldiers were really scared. But someone had to fight Goliath.
Who's brave enough to fight?
I will.
You? You're just a kid!
God has helped me save our sheep from a lion and a bear. And God will help me save Israel from Goliath and the Philistines.
Well, it sounded
Crazy!
but no one else volunteered. So, King Saul said,
All right, here, use my sword. Uh-oh.
It's too heavy. I'll just use this.
A slingshot?
I use this slingshot to protect my sheep from lions and bears. And I'll use it to protect us from the Philistines.
Then David picked up 5 smooth stones and walked out onto the battlefield.
He was such a nice kid.
Israel announced that they were sending their champion out to meet Goliath. So, the giant Philistine turned to meet him.
Where is he?
Right here.
You? I'm going to feed you to the birds.
Goliath! Goliath! Goliath!
David must have been so scared.
Maybe, but David trusted God and said,
This is God's battle.
Oh, yeah? Well, this is my spear.
You come at me with your big spear and strong armor, but I come with the power of my big, strong God.
And just then, David slung a stone through the air and hit Goliath right
Between the eyes! Uh-oh.
So Israel was safe.
And who did God use?
Not big, strong King Saul or his army.
Not Jesse's warrior sons.
It was David because he trusted God.
And when we trust God with everything, God can use us to do amazing things.
Even if we are small.
That's right.
This has gone to your head. Remember, pride always comes before the fall.
Whatever. Have you ever read the story of King Nebuchadnezzar? He was so full of pride, he even built a statue of himself.
You're just jealous. And besides, it's not like I'm making a big statue of myself.
One big statue of self for, Mr. Micah Superstar.
You know, people who think too highly of themselves sometimes do some pretty crazy things. Just like King Nebby, nibble some scissors.
That's King Nebuchadnezzar?
Medical sweater?
Nebuchadnezzar.
Let's just call him Nebby for short.
Have you heard of King Nebuchadnezzar? It's a story of a man who thought no one could be better. With his heart full of pride, he never saw it odd that it's wrong to ask people to treat you like your god. He thought highly of himself and said,
what could be better than to build a big statue of King Nebuchadnezzar?
He said,
bow to my statue.
To his people in all earnest,
if you fail to bow down, you'll be thrown in a furnace.
But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow down to the statue made of gold.
What? Are you mad? You won't bow to my statue?
Nebby said,
you can run, but you know we will catch you.
We won't run.
They replied,
we have nothing to fear. We know God will save us.
And our conscience will be clear.
We won't worship you or your gods or anything. No God but our God, and that is that, oh Nebby King.
Fine, tie them up. Turn the furnace up to 7. Throw them in the fire. See if help comes from heaven.
Now, before you all say this story isn't fair, shouldn't God save his people when they bow to him in prayer?
Well, God showed up, made the people all stare. They looked into the furnace and saw 4 people there. Their jaws all fell and their eyes grew wide. Nebby said,
oh look, the Son of God's inside. Come out of the furnace. Your God must be real.
Yeah. The 3 men were fine and no fire did they feel. With the change of heart, Nebby made a decree that all people worship God and not bow down to Nebby.
If not, I will beat them up. I'm gonna make them pay. Black eyes and wedgies are the order of the day.
Yeah, that's not very nice. I wouldn't do that.
King Nebby went crazy, but soon came to his senses, gave his life to God. That was the general consensus.
Minno Laugh and Grow Bible.
Brave Queen Esther.
A very long time ago, in a place called Persia, there lived a king.
Me, King Xerxes.
Xerxes?
Yep, a tough name and, well, kind of a tough king.
Why was he so tough?
He had a bad temper.
What? Who said that? Get rid of them!
Whoa, he does have a temper.
Well, King Xerxes needed a queen, so he searched throughout the land for the best queen of all.
No. Hey! Who are you?
Esther.
Now, Esther was an orphan, which means she had no mother or father. She lived with her cousin,
Mordecai.
He worked for King Xerxes at his palace. Both Mordecai and Esther were Jewish.
Jewish? What does that mean?
You see, God's people were called the Israelites because...
they were the children of Israel.
Right. Well, there came a time that Israel split in 2. The southern half was called Judah, and the people from Judah were called...
Jews!
Okay, I get it.
Now, the Jewish people were not very popular in King Xerxes' land, and he didn't know that Esther was a Jew. He just knew that...
she is so pretty and kind! I love her!
In fact, he loved her so much that he made Esther queen.
Oh, what a nice story.
Well, not so much.
Really? Why?
Things got complicated. You see, King Xerxes had a friend named Haman.
Yes. Like, hey man, at least you won't forget me.
Haman didn't like the Jews at all, and he especially didn't like Mordecai, because Mordecai would never, ever, ever bow down to him. Finally, Haman got so fed up with Mordecai that he went to see the king.
Oh, Haman!
Hey, King! Your Highness. I have something important to tell you.
Haman lied to the king and said that the Jews were troublemakers and the land would be better off without them.
Oh no! I hope the king didn't listen to him.
He did. The king signed a law that said all the Jewish people would be killed.
That's scary! Did Esther pack her bags and go?
No.
No?
Mordecai had a plan.
You have to talk to the king.
Esther was scared. If someone went to the king without an invitation, you could be killed. But Mordecai said,
maybe this is why God allowed you to become queen. Esther, you can save your people.
So what did she do?
Esther gathered her courage and prepared a feast.
A feast? Why?
She invited the king and Haman, and just as they were starting to enjoy the meal, she told on Haman. She said,
King Xerxes, someone is going to kill my whole family and me.
The king was surprised.
What? Who would want to kill my queen?
That man.
Haman?
He plans to kill all the Jewish people. And I am a Jew.
Like I said, King Xerxes had a temper, and he said,
Haman! Whatever you were going to do to the Jews will be done to you.
No, please, I'm sorry.
That was the last time anyone had to worry about Haman.
Wow, God really used Esther's bravery in a big way.
Yes, he did. God used the bravery of Esther, an orphan girl who became queen, to save the children of Israel.
There are stories in the Bible that are told when you're a child, but as soon as you're a grown-up, they no longer seem to show up. I guess grown-ups don't like action and they find no satisfaction in these famous children's stories. Do they think they are too boring? How about David and Goliath? There a stone took down a giant. Orphan Jonah fled by sail, but was followed by a veil. And Noah's Ark, let's not forget, a flood from God is kind of event. Daniel and the lions, this ain't God is story. Did not in our superhero substance, falling cut his hair, lots of dollar when the traffic all the blood, all the fall of Jericho. Zero more free, over and the rest of the show. So let's go back to the basics.
Wow! Oh, was that supposed to be recording?
What?
Episode 2, Daniel and the Robotic Lion.
Cuba, it's Daniel in the Lion's Den. Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Back to the Basics. As always, I am Professor Zeitreis, and this is my trusted assistant, Cuba.
And this is Gertrude, my trusted assistant.
Ah, yes, Gertrude. Sadly, the time machine can't revisit time periods we've already been to, or we might run into ourselves creating an unknown consequence. As a result, Gertrude has become a permanent part of the team.
With robotic superpowers.
Well, I wanted to make sure she had a great quality of life. So, I gave her one super upgrade. Robotic braces. Easy walking. Thereby eliminating the one major liability that most likely drove her species to extinction. Those poor dunce birds. They never know what hit them.
She's the third member of the TTT, the time-traveling trio. We've already got badges and a theme song.
Aha! Well, what's most important is that by allowing her to live in our time under close observation, her survival shouldn't disrupt the space-time continuum, so long as she keeps a low profile.
Speaking of her profile, She's now on the internet. She can be found on most social media sites under the name Gertrude 6000 BC. Hashtag new in town. Hashtag old school. Hashtag the flood life. Say cheese, Gertie.
What is this, Gooba? That is not keeping a low profile.
But she only has one follower, which is me. That seems pretty low. Hashtag first friend. Hashtag best friend.
Gooba, a low profile is her not being on the internet at all. We can't have people noticing a new species of bird. You need to erase that at once.
That's not fair at all. Hashtag not fair at all.
And Gooba, for the love of schnitzel, please stop saying the word hashtag.
Hashtag okay.
Now, children, for today's time-traveling adventure, I've chosen a famous children's Bible story that is so very close to my heart. We all face moments in time where what other people want us to do will not line up with what God wants us to do. In those moments, we must put our trust in God and continue to follow His path, even if we end up in a lion's den, just like Daniel.
A lion's den? Hashtag what?
Also, the Bible says that Daniel is visited by an angel. Can you believe it? I would love to have a first-hand account of seeing one. On that note, to the time machine. Okay, children, we will now prepare the time machine for travel. Last trip was a disaster. So Gooba and I have implemented a checklist.
That's correct. The time-traveling trio checklist.
Item 1. Set the timer for Daniel.
Timer is set. Check.
Item 2. Set the time machine for Lion.
Lion is set. Check.
By turning the time machine into a lion, we will be able to seamlessly blend into the den, becoming almost indistinguishable from the other lions. In addition, starting with this trip, we will always have the time machine transform while traveling through time. We must not chance having our transformation be spotted. And last but not least, item number 3.
I will not exit the time machine, no matter what.
Precisely. Check.
Unless I have to.
What? No, that's not part of it.
Professor, shouldn't buckling up be a checklist item?
Why? We are both buckled up. We surely won't forget twice.
Well, Gertie isn't buckled up.
Oh no!
Go. We are the time traveling trio. The professor and Gertie and Mio. We are the time traveling trio. The professor and Gertie and Mio.
We have arrived and are blending in perfectly with our surroundings. By my calculations, we should be inside the very lion's den that Daniel is thrown into when he disobeys the king.
I'll be honest. I feel like you've done a pretty bad job of explaining this story to me and the children. Who is Daniel? And why is he going into a lion's den? Does he work for a zoo? Or is this some kind of a treasure hunt scenario where the lions are guarding an artifact?
Well, Gooba, my hope is that we will be able to witness the story unfold, providing you and the children with all of the information we need. All we need to do is wait and watch, and hopefully see an angel. It seems my robotic lion doesn't blend in as well as I thought.
It's probably because Gertie's legs are sticking up out of the back of it. Also, her legs are like 10 times the size of us inside. That's weird.
But Einstein, that's because outside the time machine you grow into normal size. She must have gotten stuck during the transformation somewhere inside the time machine. I must find her at once. Gooba, you're in charge until I return.
In charge of what?
This is new. Watching for Daniel!
Yes, sir. Wait, what does Daniel look like? Well, I guess it's up to me then. Keep your eyes peeled, Goober. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm on the lookout For Daniel, I'm on the lookout. In the lion's den, I'm on the lookout. For Daniel, I'm on the lookout. We time traveled again. I'm drawing a picture of what he might look like. He's probably got 2 arms, 2 legs, and 2 eyes, a nose and a mouth, and some hair and a beard, and a shirt that says Daniel, so he's not hard to find. I'm on the lookout for Daniel. I'm on the lookout in the lion's den. I'm on the lookout for Daniel. I'm on the lookout. We time traveled again. I don't know the story. He must defeat lions, or maybe he's stronger as in a disguise, or a superhero from all of my comics who wears the long cape and is able to fly.
He's on the lookout for Daniel. He's on the lookout. While I look for the bird, he's on the lookout for Daniel. I need to find her. The robot looks absurd.
Facing an army of chocolate monsters that'll throw chocolate pies, but Daniel's got no problem melting them down using all of his powers like lasers for eyes.
I'm on the lookout for Daniel. I'm on the lookout in the lion's den. I'm on the lookout for Daniel. I'm on the lookout. We time traveled again.
Professor, something is happening.
I can't hear you, Gooba. These motors are too loud. I found Gertrude. Please let me know if something starts happening.
I just said that. Professor?
Daniel from Judah, I, King Darius, issued a written edict that stated that anyone who prays to any god or human during the next 30 days except to me shall be thrown into the lion's den. You now stand accused by my administrators and satraps of continuing to pray to your God 3 times a day. How do you respond to this?
King Darius, I, Daniel of Judah, do not deny praying to the one and only true God. Just as I have always prayed to him 3 times daily, I continued to do so during the 30 days of your written edict. My king, I must inform you that this will continue, even at the threat of being thrown into the lion's den.
Then I must honor the written edict and follow through with the punishment. You shall be thrown into the lion's den for 1 entire night. At dawn I shall return. May your God, whom you serve continually,
rescue you. Professor, you may want to get up here.
I can't hear you, Gooba. I've already told you that. Gertrude is incredibly stuck. I may need your help soon.
Oh boy, Professor, this Daniel guy sure is in trouble.
Hey, it's kind of dark in here, isn't it?
Wait, who said that? Who's there?
Oh, sorry. Pretend I'm not here. I just want to see how God gets you out of this mess.
Those are wise words, stranger. Our God is an awesome God, and he works in mysterious ways.
You know, that is so true. I once lost my hat
and couldn't find it for an entire day.
So what did I do? I prayed to God. Sure enough, after that prayer, I found it.
It was on the top of my head the whole time.
The power of prayer.
The power of prayer indeed. Thank you.
Gooba, I need your help now. Get down here.
But Daniel just came down here. We might miss something. Lord, thank you for this opportunity to show King Darius and his people your power and greatness. Please protect me tonight so I may leave this lion's den and speak of the one true God.
Gooba, I need your help now! Get down here!
Oh, all right.
Gooba, finally! I think if we can unhook her braces, we can get her legs back into the time machine.
But what about her braces? Won't they be stuck in this time period?
No, Gooba, they are completely fused to the time machine itself and should travel back with us when we go. For now, I just want to get her down so she don't miss anything.
Oh, you already have.
What? Get off of me, but why didn't you tell me?
I tried.
What have I missed? Have you seen Daniel?
Yep.
And what about King Darius ordering Daniel to be thrown into the pit because he broke the written edict?
Yep. Then Daniel was thrown down into the den. They covered it up with a hole. It got really dark. And then we talked a little bit about my hat.
You what?
Then all the lions started approaching him. He started praying, and a bright light started shining all around him.
And since the angel appeared?
Well, I don't know. I came down here.
What? Gooba, why didn't you stay for the angel?
You said, and I repeat, I need your help immediately, Gooba. Get down here now.
Gooba, we must hurry. Gooba, we missed everything. Oh, including the angel. It's all I ever wanted to see.
Well, technically, you missed everything. I saw most of it until you made me come help you. Hashtag your fault.
How long were we down there? Has it been an entire night? I must pass differently inside the time machine.
Daniel, son of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?
May the king live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight. Nor have I ever done any wrong before you, your majesty.
Lift Daniel out of the den!
Yes! Ha-ha! Everything worked out just the way it was supposed to. Even though we didn't see the angel, at least we saw Daniel exit the pit triumphantly. For me, that is good enough. Come, let us be off.
Wait, Professor, I don't think it's over. It looks like some more people are gathering at the top of the pit.
Well, Gooba, for this children's Finley show, it is over. We must leave at once.
It seems like they're about to go in the pit.
Oh dear, it's definitely over for all of us. Setting the time and date as fast as I can.
Yep, they are definitely going in. Hey, maybe it opens as a petting zoo now.
Those are the administrators and satraps that accused Daniel of the crime.
Oh, so now it's their turn.
I guess you could say that.
Hey, look, the lions are waking up, and they look so excited to be pet. Those people are so lucky. This is gonna be a petting zoo experience they'll never forget.
Gooba, we have to go.
Wait, Gertie's not buckled up.
There's no time. We have to go now.
We are the time traveling trio. The Professor and Gertie and Leo. We are the time traveling trio. The Professor and Gertie and
Nailed it. We are back.
And Gertie's leg braces are back too. Hashtag blessed.
What an exciting adventure we had today. Ha! We visited the famous children's Bible story of Daniel and the lion's den. Although we missed the angel, we didn't miss Daniel putting his trust in God and continuing to follow his path, even when he ended up in a lion's den. In the end, God actually rewarded Daniel's faith by making him the highest administrator in all the land. All right here in the Bible.
And I didn't exit the time machine.
That should be a given, Gooba. But I guess I can congratulate you for that.
Who knew I could talk to Daniel while inside the time machine?
Wait, you were serious?
This episode is in the books. Literally, the Bible. Say cheese. Hashtag time traveling trio.
Gooba, stop posting pictures of the Dunsbird.
But she's a member of the TTT. Hashtag TTT.
And stop saying hashtag.
Did you love that video? Hit subscribe or ask your parents to download the Minno Kids app.